Hello and welcome to the 9/10 podcast for your DOGE Dividend update. Today we have some sad news. Yes, that's correct. Millions in the country will not be receiving DOGE Dividend checks. Stay tuned to find out if you are still eligible to receive your DOGE Dividend check. If you didn't know already, President Donald Trump asked Elon Musk to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, to eliminate as much waste, fraud, and abuse as physically possible. Mainly because the American people have been taxed more than any other nation on the planet. And apparently everyone and their grandma is trying to steal it. With so much shenanigans going on in the government, like Nancy Pelosi being worth over $240 million, yet her highest salary was $220,000 a year. With stories like that rampant all over the US government, DOGE is forecasting to uncover trillions of possible savings. So let's go ahead and take a look at the DOGE website to see how much we're saving. If you're finally ready to get a refund of all your mishandled taxpayer money in the form of a DOGE dividend check, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe for more DOGE dividend updates. Let's check the DOGE website for some updates. Estimated savings as of today, $115 billion. Amount saved per taxpayer, $714.29. Hey, I'll take it. Let's see their latest findings. Weekly credit card update. Pilot program with 16 agencies to audit unused/unneeded credit card after 5 weeks. 298,000 credit cards have been activated. At the start of the audit, there were 4.6 million active credit card accounts, so still more work to do. These folks, they just have these government credit cards and they just start swiping, I guess. So as of Friday, the SBA.gov website, SBA, Small Business Administration, they give out loans to small businesses. And apparently they were giving out loans to people over 115 years old. In one case, a 157-year-old individual getting small business loans. So apparently their website now requires date of birth collection, and it pauses loans processes for folks under 18 and above 120 years old. What does that mean? 115-year-old people are getting small business loans? That is shady as all hell. To me, that sounds like they're using dead people to get business loans, so those dead people don't have to pay the money back. That is insane. All right, so with all the shenanigans that DOGE is finding, let's calculate how much we should be expecting from all the savings so far. So we are at 115 billion. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 zeros. All right, and then they're saying 20% of all the savings will be going back to American taxpayers. So that's 23 billion. All right, divided by 80 million taxpayers. So right now we're at $287.50 per DOGE dividend checks. James Fishback, an investment banker who briefly worked with Vivek Ramaswamy in the earliest days of the Department of Government Efficiency, says the idea of the DOGE dividend payments came to him in a dream. Fishback first tweeted about it on X in February. American taxpayers deserve a DOGE dividend. 20% off the money that DOGE saves should be sent back to hardworking Americans as a tax refund check. It was their money in the first place. Since then, both Elon Musk and President Donald Trump have aired it as a possibility. Trump is certainly no stranger to economic stimulus payments, but that doesn't mean the DOGE dividend would work. The tax rebate would only go out to American households who pay net positive taxes. Low and moderate income households often collect more in tax credits than they pay in taxes. The Tax Foundation points out that the bottom 50% of earners in the US pay roughly 3% of the total individual income taxes collected by the IRS. The bottom 50% is only 3% of the total income taxes collected. An analysis by the Pew Research Center found taxpayers earning below $40,000 generally collect more back in tax credits than they pay in taxes. So these taxpayers would not be eligible for a DOGE dividend check. So I guess if you're making less than 40K, you're not going to be getting a DOGE dividend check. While DOGE DOGE dividend is a redistribution of wealth as a tax rebate, it would exclude lower earners. Inflation concerns. One of the reasons the United States suffered high inflation in the wake of the pandemic was overstimulus and flooding the market with too much cash. Would further stimulus throw more gasoline onto the fire? Fishback argues that it wouldn't. He claims that tax-paying households are more likely to save and invest more money or pay down debts. Not every financial expert agrees. Budgeting and personal finance expert Aaron Razon of Coupon Shake. If a large amount is distributed among taxpayers, many would instead increase their spending. That would in turn raise demands, drives up prices, and potentially leads to more disruptions in distribution chains. Joseph Rado, CEO at National Business Capital, agreed, "We all saw what happened when the government handed out stimulus checks during COVID. The impact would be smaller this time since it's a one-time payout instead of an ongoing flow of money, but it still would add extra cash into the economy, which pushes prices up." Likelihood of the DOGE dividend checks. Just how realistic is the prospect of these checks going out to U.S. taxpayers? Financial experts disagree. I don't see DOGE dividends happening. Even with the cuts DOGE is making, we're still running at a deficit. It doesn't make financial sense to cut and then continue to give away money. Lucas Barcelo, founder of Insurance Corporation, isn't so sure. The Trump administration has a lot to prove. He added that the administration needs some early wins with the public to build momentum. Whether DOGE dividends come to pass or not, don't loosen your budget, Razon observed. These kinds of speculative proposals can give Americans a false sense of security. That then leads them to overspend and take their eyes off their priorities of saving, investing, and paying down debts. The exact opposite of Fishback's vision for the DOGE dividend. All right, so we got a lot to unpack over there. The DOGE dividend check is only going to Americans that pay a net positive on their taxes. Apparently, if your household is making less than $40,000, you're actually collecting more in tax credits than actually paying in tax. These households, unfortunately, will not be getting the DOGE dividend checks, which makes a whole lot of sense to me. If you're collecting more credits than actually paying taxes, then not getting the dividend from a refund might make a lot of sense, right? And what's crazy is the bottom 50% of earners only pay 3% of the total income taxes collected by the IRS. That's a bit of an insane statistic right there. I wonder why that is. Can you all explain to me in the comments why the bottom 50% only accounts for 3%? That's crazy. And then we have even more financial experts sounding the alarm bells with inflation concerns. I still don't understand this. Perhaps y'all can explain to me in the comment section. How does not printing more money inflate the currency? If the amount of dollars is still the same exact amount, you're not adding dollars, how is that inflationary? The government would have spent all that money anyway, right? They would have spent it on whatever programs like transgender frogs or transgender plays in Nicaragua, right? The government would have spent all the money anyway, so I don't understand the argument of giving folks money will make them spend it and then raise prices. The government would have spent the money anyway, right? And if you gave it to the people, a lot more money will be saved rather than spent. If it was going to be given to the government, 100% would be spent. So I don't understand what these so-called economists are saying, that why you shouldn't be getting your DOGE dividend checks because of inflation. We're not printing any more money. The same amount of money is still going to be in the system. It's just going to be given to you instead of the government that's going to be spending 100% of it anyway. Please let me know in the comments what these economists' points are with regards to it being inflationary. Thanks for tuning into the 9/10 podcast for your DOGE dividend updates. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Definitely helps me out creating more content for y'all. Peace.